Thanks, Bill. All right, so these are turkeys, as you can see, and again, keeping in the portable infrastructure, you know, something that's as fundamental and simple. See, we think animals are supposed to move. Animals are supposed to, that seems so simple, and yet you realize most of our, 98% of our society does not believe animals are supposed to move. You know, they're supposed to be locked up in little tiny things. So anyway, this is what makes it possible. This netting, this is poultry netting from Premier. It's a new material, it's a space-age product. It's got little stainless steel threaded filaments woven through the polyethylene. The horizontals conduct spark, the verticals do not. And the fiberglass stakes are molded into it. And so it comes in about 150-foot pieces. Who would have thought 50 years ago that you could have a material that's black bear, coyote, chicken, turkey, raccoon, dog proof, that 150 feet of it would only weigh 12 pounds and one person could take it up and put it down in 10 minutes.
Where do you get it?
From Premier in Iowa. All the things that you see, hog feeders, waterers, this kind of material, shade cloth, all this stuff is listed on the resources section of our Polyface website. If you pull up Polyface and punch the resources tab, it will give you all the places where we get stuff, okay? Now this is where I always have the little point where people go away and say, oh, we went to this neatest farm today, it was like Grandpa's farm. No, this is not like Grandpa's farm. Grandpa would have given his eye teeth for stuff like this, okay? He would have given his eye teeth for something like that. Remember, we haven't even had pneumatic tires for very long. So the fact that you can have a shelter that's portable, that a couple people can push around like a wheelbarrow, big enough for 400 turkeys, with a shade cloth, that's a permeable shade cloth that simulates leaves in the trees with a variegated light shade. They like the shade too.
I think they think you're funny.
They think I'm funny? Yeah, probably. I think you're funny. This whole procedure here is information based. You know, Kevin Kelly, the editor of Wired magazine, wrote a book on the new rules for the new economy, and it's all about how everything is being downsized, restructured, and miniaturized. You know, the 120-pound secretary has been replaced by a 4-ounce mail router, okay? Think about your car today, how much information your car carries, but how light it is compared to a 1960s, V8 burner, right? That went up to 120, 150 miles an hour on the speedometer. Remember that? You know, you got to be 50 years old to even remember when speedometers went that high. And there was a lot of pig iron in those cars, but very little information. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. The information that allows us to downsize, restructure, miniaturize, and take the mass out is profound. And Grandpa would have given his eye teeth to have this, to have a sawmill down at the house that only costs $7,000 and weighs 800 pounds. The sawmill Grandpa had weighed 6 tons and took a 100 horsepower Detroit diesel engine to run all that big pig iron, right? With enough pig iron to move a log across a stationary blade within a 32nd of an inch tolerance. That took a lot of weight. Today, we just let the big old log sit and run a little 150-pound head across it that only removes 1/10 of an inch per cut, so it can run all day on a gallon of fuel with a little Honda 20 horsepower engine. And we can cut lath. You know, years ago, you couldn't cut small dimension lumber. It was too inefficient because the kerf took 1/4 of an inch per cut. If you cut anything less than about a 2x6, you just had a pile of sawdust. And trees were too hard to get because every one was cut down with a cross-cut saw, you know. And so today, we can essentially very efficiently make sticks. So we can make lightweight infrastructure like an erector set from small dimension lumber efficiently. Yeah, you watch the birds chase those June bugs. That is really funny to watch them chase the June bugs. Because the bugs are big enough you can see them flying, and the turkeys are, you know, they're chasing them ahead of them.